the students are born here, but the parents have a different status. So I think that sometimes is a barrier for them. It's mixed, but I think the vast majority of residents are citizens.
Thank you.
Can I ask you, so the service you're offering at Dayton High School and then the two schools in McMinnville, are you filling a void that they don't have that type of counselor per se or whatever? So
Yes, in particular with those Spanish-speaking families who are sometimes not engaging with other programs they offer, and that's usually because it's not in their language, their native tongue. For the parents, the students navigate the system pretty well on their own sometimes, but they need that support at home. So we are filling that void, and the families have been very appreciative. They've given us testimonials that they say they're very happy to have a program like this in their community.
thank you.
So this is the first year in Yamhill County?
It's been
And-
about 6 months in my position, and around the same time for the program in this area.
And I understand in other areas it's been quite successful in terms
Yes.
of going on to college from
Mhm.
those students?
Yeah. The previous numbers, we need to update our numbers, but the previous number was 100% graduation rate, and of that, I think they had about 80% who had applied and been accepted to a college program or higher ed program.
Are you looking at expanding to other schools within the county?
In the area? Yes, currently we're not serving McMinnville High School, and that's a conversation that we're continuing. Christian Frack has been very supportive. The principals at the middle schools have been very supportive of this program. And so it's something we're considering to open up to the high school as well here.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what has been accomplished just in a few months. Jose started November 1, and he had to learn the OSU system, the OSU Extension Service system, the Shemekidah system, and the local school system, and in order to help these families. So it's pretty amazing. He's doing an excellent job.
Great. Well, thank you and
Thank you
welcome.
very much.
Thank you for the update. And now if we get an update on your budget.
Yeah, so we'll start with the budget discussion, and then we'll also have Mike Knutz come up and join us
Okay.
in case there's questions. So I'll give you a little bit of an overview of the budget. So first thing to say that the budget is just about essentially the same as last year. And so I'm going to just focus my time just on a few little updates or slight increases here and there. So first of all, in the beginning pages, you'll see how the revenue was calculated, and we're using the same 3% increase that I believe the county is using. That was the advice given to us. And then as far as the actual, so the revenue's coming in, and then as far as the expenses, we are seeing increases in both salary and other payroll expenses. Predominantly the funds for the service district. Well, actually, if I can just kind of turn your attention to the back, I find that our organizational chart, or at least for me, helps me kind of explain who's who and where the money is going. You know, most of our money, most of the district dollars goes into salary and OPE. And the district dollars are paying for those people that have the boxes around them. And so as you see there, we have two faculty positions, one the office manager position, Kelly Watterson is here this morning, and then they also pay a portion of the community horticulture and small farms faculty, Heather Stoven. And so those are the two faculty positions, and then of the support staff, we have an office specialist one that position was just refilled, 4-H program, admin program assistant, that's full-time. And then we also set aside dollars predominantly for students that help us in the office that support Mike and his 4-H program, as well as intermittent. So anyway, so a lot of the increases in revenue really go to support the increases in salary and OPE that are part of the union contract, as well as the faculty's salaries. And then the other dollars, bulk of the dollars, I would say that is in travel support. And we have a lot of faculty, and you can also see that from this organizational chart. There's a lot of folks that are either based here in the county, but then also serve Yamhill County, but are based in nearby county offices or at the North Willamette Research and Extension Center. And so our dollars help support them to provide services in Yamhill County. So our travel support, continues to be a key item for us. And then the third item that I'd say is always, I just want to remind you, is at the North Willamette Research and Extension Center, our county and the other counties that center supports, we provide dollars to them to help, really to help support their extension faculty out of that center. They do applied research, demonstration projects, and of course provide services to the county. If you remember probably remember the orchard crops position, Jeff Olson, he used to be housed in Yamhill County serving the region, and that position was moved over to North Willamette in a partnership with the commodity associations. And so, of course, we still rely heavily on that position. Nick Wyman serves Yamhill County pretty frequently. And so, anyway, the summary of that is that I put in a slight increase of the dollars that go to North Willamette. We haven't really substantially increased our commitment since probably the mid-'80s, whenever the whole partnership was created and funding model was created. So we increased it from 16,000 to 20,000 this year. And the other counties in the region have also followed suit with that. So those are the prime, if we look at the budget, those are the prime areas that I think we wanted to focus on as far as allocations. And then I guess the last thing, a couple reminders. So one thing is that we always have contingency or sort of carryover funds as well as funds, and the funds are both held, some at OSU and then bulk of it here in the county. So we continue to have that, just to, our goal is to keep that around the 15% range or so, is I think is good fiscal policy. And then I want to highlight a few things to update you on as far as future here. One, again, on our organizational chart, we have a family community health position that's been vacant now for a year, and this was Deborah Driscoll. So this is a family community health position, does a lot of, that covers the Master Food Preserver volunteer program, as well as a lot of programs around aging and nutrition. And so after she retired, the position hasn't been filled yet, and campus OSU has just hired a new program leader for the Family Community Health Program across the state. And so we've been waiting for her to come on board and get back to us and make a decision. If you remember, you guys signed on to a letter in support to saying that this is high priority position and we want to see it filled. And so that's been the holdup of that change in leadership there. They are putting in some money for a program assistant to help us through the summer with our Master Food Preserver and food nutrition classes in Yamhill and Polk County. So that's a good, just kind of keeping things going and supporting our volunteers, but certainly not the long-term solution. We're also hoping, the plan is that, assuming that position gets filled, it used to be housed in Polk County, and I'd like to see that housed in Yamhill County. It's always served both counties equally, but I think there's a lot of potential to grow the program in Yamhill, so I'd like to see that switch this time.
Very good.
Okay, so that's the background on updates as
Eric,
far.
I got a question for you to move on there.
Okay.
That master
Food preserver?
food preserver program, is that, is there a cost that goes with that to partake in that program, or is that something you guys just do for the community, or?
Yeah, so just about all of our programs cost something, usually to cover the supplies, materials that are there. So we provide it at a cost, but then they also, like the Master Gardener program, after they're trained, then it's a train the trainer, so then they're expected to return volunteer hours. And Brian is a Master Gardener, so he can talk about this. And Sally, are you a Master Food Preserver too? No, okay. So anyway, so they give back to the community, and so that's the payback. So that's why we deliver these at a lower cost than, say, if it was just a community education program through the college or something.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and so then lastly, a couple of items to keep on your radar for the future. If there is, so all that, obviously the budget is based on projections. If we are able to have any savings, there this year. We've identified a priority to help our rural residents on well water and septic systems. There is a very popular program called the Groundwater Education Program. We've delivered it in the Valley prior. The person delivering that program has lost some grant dollars, and so if we have enough money, I would like to see her, Chrissy Lucas, come up to Yamhill County and deliver this program for us. It's essentially help homeowners understand how to test their wells, how to protect them for the water quality, and then, of course, also to maintain their septic systems. So that's something that we've identified if we have some dollars to help bring her up here to deliver that. And
Have
then,
you,
I'm sorry.
have you connected with Soil and Water to see if there's any, if they can participate in that program with you?
Yeah, so we partner pretty heavily with Soil and Water Conservation District as well as the Natural Resource Conservation Service. A lot of our programs that we deliver for agriculture in rural areas are joint. This one in particular, I haven't visited with them lately. We visited in the past, but we tend to provide the technical training part of that, and then we partner with them to help host sessions and to help get people there because we're serving the same audiences.
Right.
So yeah, it's a fantastic partnership.
All right, great.
And then lastly, I just want to say is that we need to update our intergovernmental agreement. So we need to follow up on that. Obviously not here today, but we need to follow up and get that renewed. It needs to be renewed every 5 years, and so we kind of let that fall through. I get that done this past year, so we'll have to focus on that.
Okay.
And that's it. That's my rambling on. Any other questions or highlights that you would like to know about? And of course, Mike is here to tell you some other things about 4-H if you have questions related to that.
Do you guys have any connection, with your agriculture and your water programs, and do you have any connection with the Water Master program?
Yes.
Can you give us anything on that?
Yeah, so we do, kind of in a sense. So and we generally partner with the other state agencies like Oregon Department of Ag and DEQ and Water Resource Department, Water Master. We tend to usually be kind of the technical experts, and then we pull them in on, they're usually more around policies and procedures and like Senate Bill 1010, the Ag Water Quality Act, and so forth. In particular, the Water Master, our work with them is more of, we share data on and projections and helping our growers understand their irrigation, for the year, their irrigation plan for the year, and then also projecting into the future. Whereas the Water Master is typically more really specific, here's the flow as of today, and more involved with, essentially making sure the water rights are followed specifically.
So with your connection with the agriculture community, the farmers and those kind of things, do you have anything in your database that lists all the people and whether they have junior rights or grandfathered rights or any of that kind of data? Is that in your?
Not with us. That would
I see.
that would be through the Water Resources Department. We're more of, they take care of that, but then we help the growers. They may tell us, well, here's our water right, this is what we're doing, and here's our plan. And then we help them with irrigation efficiency and making sure that their crop selection and their practices are based on.
But you don't have a working list of who's got what?
No, Water Master and Water Resources Department would have
Thank you.
that.
All right.
Thank you.
With that being said, do we have any public comment regarding?
Was Mike were you gonna
Oh, I'm
present
sorry.
us with something?
Did you want to give us an update, Mike? I thought you were just going to correct Derek if he said something wrong.
So, yeah, so my name is Mike Knutz. I am the county leader and also direct the 4-H Youth Development Program for Yamhill County. And no, I didn't see anything that Derek needed to be corrected on, so you can put that in the record. So, so I didn't plan on talking today because I figured the time would be used up. But with the 4-H Youth Development Program, just like other extension volunteer-led programs, we have about 175 volunteers that deliver 4-H club programs in the county and serve about 450 youth. And then in addition, 4-H serves kids through the after-school program. We have a robotics program here in the McMinnville School District that serves about another 130 kids. And then we have this last year with a grant, a Healthy Kids Club program that operated in McMinnville, Lafayette, and Newburgh, and that served over another 100 kids from low-income housing. And then we also have summer camps, which expanded this summer, and so we'll be serving about 450 kids through the camp program. I don't know if there's another, what else? Oh, tractor safety is also happening. It's federal law requires youth that are 14 to 17 years of age to be certified in order to operate a farm machinery or tractor if they're employed. Unless, of course, their parents own the farm, then they don't have to go through the certification process. So we do have 2 classes set here, one starting in a couple weeks and the other one in June. So kids can be certified to work on farms. That might cover most of it.
Thank you.
Very good,
Thanks.
very good. With that, I would then ask for public comment. If we have no intent to speak, then we are going to now go to the approval of the budget.
I'd move approval of budget as presented.
Second?
You need to set the tax rate at .0449 per thousand.
So, and set the tax rate at .0449 per thousand.
So we do have a motion to accept the budget and set the tax rate at .0449 for fiscal year 2016-17. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. We have passed the budget. And is there any other business to bring before the board? Hearing none, I will close the budget hearing.
Thank you all for
Thank
coming.
you.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, you bet.
I'm a little envious.
Oh, right on, man.
Do I have time to run and get my
No,
glasses?
I'm the golf course landscape coordinator
Of
for
course, I won't need them as much.
the rec district. I work on Forest Highway for this time of year.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Mike,
We're
thank
happy to be
you.
on vacation too, so. Hopefully it was appropriate.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Yes, you're supposed to sign the minutes, so. Yeah,
You should, yeah, you
here
should
is
put those
a
up
copy
there
for
and
your
look at
signature.
it. It's just, it's doing my flip.
It doesn't.
I got rid of my unwanted guests. I sprayed them with this stuff that's non-toxic, and I put this stuff into the dirt. And then also every time I
very
come
much.
check,
Appreciate
I
it.
tell them when I'm coming in, I'm familiar about that. If they're closest to the sun, they have all those, and if they're not, they're bigger and larger, and they don't have those kinds. So that was quite instructive.
Like 2 different plants.
Yeah, I know, it did. But thank you, so come by and look at them. I've got orchids blooming and everything else.
Oh, good. I just got my mom an orchid feeder. My mom's a very attentive person, so she's trying to find a species, and I go, Mom, and she's like, these are the plants that you can kind of neglect.
Yeah.
Every 4 days. So that's why I thought your orchid, leave it alone.
Yeah, and it's true. And they come back, you know, you don't think they get a
They're
little.
almost dead. I have one in my office. They got rid of it. You're like, okay, so all you gotta do is let it for a while and make sure it doesn't do anything.
And it's so exciting when they start to really.
No, it said. Actually, it said, is it Helly? Our board does. So would you want them to reappoint? No, Ellie did not get reappointed. No, they have to do that at a regular board So if you want us to go ahead and do that, we'll have it in the next couple of weeks. Okay, and then I'll check some, okay. I'll make a note. I think so, yeah. They're staggered, yeah. Might be. I'll double check for you. You want them both reappointed? Okay. I know. Once you get board members that are good, you kind of want them to stay on. I'll double check for you. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael.
At this point, no, she's just clear that. She's looked at
But you know what? If you guys don't think that my brother and I are so together. I don't know why we waited so long. Well, his daughter first.
It's like the only accredited one between Washington and, anyway, and it's like,
She's excited.
she applied early.
Because my family's a little different in many ways. Well,
There,
Okay,
now we can.
now you can see, huh? This time we'll call to order the Yamhill County Board of Commissioners formal session for May 12, 2016. It is 10:03 a.m. Let's see. Lucy, would you lead us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, we have set aside for invocation Commissioner Springer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's my privilege to introduce our guest this morning. Known him for a number of years, and one of my favorite guys. Gotta tell you that, one of my favorite guys. And he's on the leadership team at Coast Hills, and as a first responder, and a great family man, and a great friend of mine, and reliable man. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Dean Yoder. Would you come forward and do invocation for us?
Well, it is an honor to get to do this. I was thinking about on my drive home this morning that the Marines have a motto or a code that they say for God and for country. And I don't believe the Marines have ever forced anybody to believe in that. It's just, I believe they want to express that there's something bigger than just the country, and what they're trying to accomplish sometimes may become a little fuzzy, and that they're looking to give credit to something just a little bit bigger than themselves and our country. So this morning I want to pray for God and county, because I believe nobody's forcing anybody to do this, to embrace God, to embrace an invocation, but the commissioners have said, we are going to choose to say there's something bigger than us that we are trying to accomplish